And here we go. All right. I think Devil has a faster time than Jeff. I can't remember what their PBs are off the top of my head, but they should be relatively close to each other. I know Jeff told me before the race began that he's not practiced all skills in a while, and he said that the race should be interesting. So I'm excited to see how this all pans out. Should be fun. So I'm in King's Pass right now. Nothing much to really explain here. It's really simple music or movement rather. We do a cute little bench fly pogo here to save some time. I'm just gonna keep going through until I get to the door. You can see both of them do a little hop there to avoid getting a hard fall, which saves some more time. And one thing that we're going to try to avoid doing during this run is avoiding hard falls, and we can do that by opening our inventory in the air, which Devil's going to show us right now. Open the inventory, it uncaps your fall speed. It makes it so you don't hard fall when you hit the ground. It looks like they paused the streams really quick there to sync up the runners. And I think we should be good now. That is correct. Jeff did PB in round 1. Alright, both of them getting good growth drops. Typically what you don't want to see happen is you getting hit on the way down. Sucks. Don't really like taking damage this early on in the game. Both going to the Aspen Arena right now. You're going to see them both go for the double spike kill. Fortunately, Devil misses it, but Jeff gets it. Very nice. Looks like they're about on the same pace right now. This PB is 56.26. Alright. And I believe Devil, I'm not sure if Devil has PB'd since the tournament began. But I believe before it began, it was a round of 53. I want to say. The runners are about 3 minutes apart. Coming up next is the False Night Room. So this is the first boss of the game. Thankfully, there's a dev-intended skip that we can do that saves a ton of time. We only have to go through the first stagger, False Night, and then we can leave the battle. Jeff taking some unfortunate damage there, but that's alright. We do have time to heal during the fight, so both runners should be fine. See right there, yep, both runners escaping the fight, saving tons of time. Looks like they're still pretty on even pace. Jeff is just, I think, about a second behind Devil. Just pretty nice so far. We're seeing about a 336 from Devil, 337 from Jeff for Vengeful Spirit. Both pretty decent times for a tournament race. Typically, the higher echelons of the runners get closer to 31s and 32s for that split, so both those times aren't bad at all. And now that we're in Mound, this is really the first part of the run that's kind of an annoying RNG fest. So once we get down here, we have to deal with the Elder Balder. You have a 50% chance of getting a Balder or a Spit, and sometimes runners can get really unlucky and get like 7 Spits in a row. Thankfully, it looks like they both just got a few Spits. I believe the world record for Spits is 19. It's either 19 or 20. Very impressive. So what we're going to be doing over here is our first, like, really important glitch of the run. So if we wake up the Elder Balder and then run off the screen and shoot a fireball at him, it'll hit him multiple times with that fireball, and so we can insta-kill him. And it's quite a bit of nice time save. So we can see that Devil right there got the first fireball skip just fine. Jeff missed it. Loses you about 2 seconds, so not the end of the world. It does give Devil a slight lead. So now we're going to see them just walking through Green Path, collecting souls so they can continue doing the fireball skips, and eventually get Dash, which is our first movement ability. Alright, Devil gets a second fireball skip, very nice. And so does Jeff. Alright. And both of them getting the third fireball skip, very nice. That's the last fireball skip, and now they're pretty much home free to get to Hornet. Last thing they have to do is fight the Moss Knights. Pretty simple. Thankfully, in this category, typically in a lot of categories we do kill Vengefly King for Geo, but since we're killing the Moss Knights, we don't kill Vengefly King. So Zote will indeed die in this run, and that'll either be happy or sad for you depending on who you are. Personally, it makes me happy. As you can see, Devil fighting the Moss Knights, really easy. Hit him with all 3 fireballs, and the last guy takes an extra nail hit to kill. We do this because we need the Geo for the early game, which is kind of tight. And then once we get past a certain point, Geo is no longer a worry. But for now, runners typically want around 310 Geo at least for this part of the run, so both of them seem to be pretty fine. Alright, Devil has a pretty clean Hornet fight. I'm gonna pick up Cloak now. And then next up, we're going to get Mantis Claw. Both of them had a pretty good Hornet fight, so that's nice. Looks like Jeff is about 7 seconds behind Devil, I think. The race still pretty close between them. Devil unfortunately cancels his inventory drop a little too early there, so he gets the hard fall. Always see him do set strats though. Oh, he takes a dunk into the acid. That's not very good. And another, yeah. One thing about this part, this room in the run, is that if you dunk in the acid, it's very easy to get super disoriented with where you are, and you end up dunking the acid one or two more times. So very unfortunate, but this part of the run is relatively short, so Devil should probably be fine. Jeff did the room nice and clean, so he probably caught up just a little bit. Yeah, they're about even now, I think. So this next room, both the runners are going to do a trick called Explosion Pogo. Essentially what you do is just Pogo off of the Sporg, and then Pogo off the explosion of the Sporg. You get over to Mantis Village. Devil do it right now. He gets it. Very nice. See if Jeff can do it. Jeff also gets it. Very nice. And the last trick for this split is the double Mantis Pogo. It gives a lot of runners some trouble sometimes if the Mantids don't cooperate. Devil does it really nicely. Jeff getting a little unlucky with the Mantis RNG there. But he recovers. Very nice. Now it looks like Jeff is about 4 seconds behind. So still a close race. Pretty good so far. And we're now on our way to Buzzmother, so we can pick up Shaman Stone and then get ourselves over to City. This is a really basic movement through these rooms, basically doing what we did before, except now we have dash, so we can go faster. Devil does not need to kill Jennifer for the soul. Let's see if Jeff does the same. Jeff will also not kill Jennifer. Jennifer lives to see another day. This is the second boss fight. As you can see, very easy. Just shoot Grozmami a couple times with the Vengeful Spirits, and then smack her around, and you're good to go. Now he has to do the Gruz cleanup. Not the cleanest, but he still had a pretty good recovery from it after get out. Interesting Pogo. I don't really see that happen a lot. Jeff not as good, but still getting out there pretty quickly. And so now we see them both die intentionally here. This is where we do a shade skip. Typically, you need to kill False Knight and take the City Crest from him to get into City, but we can do a shade skip here, where we just pogo on our shade a couple times, and you use it to get into Blue Lake, which saves us an absolute ton of time. Very great that we can do something like this. See, Devil has excellent movement through this very difficult room. Great use of the dash. Unfortunately, he misses the totem through the wall. You typically like to go into this next room up here with 2 soul, so he goes back and gets an extra hit on the sentry. Jeff also missing the totem, unfortunately. In these next few rooms, we're just going to do a little soul collection. Nothing too complicated. So this is the last bit of geo we need for this part of the run. Just have to kill Gorgeous Husk, and we're going to get a bunch of doubles on her with the fireball. We're going to get 420 geo, very nice, and then we're going to quit out back to the bench. And the last thing the runners need to do is just collect a couple, or a little bit of geo up in this next area, and then they'll have enough for the first nail art that they get in the run, Dash Slash. You see Jeff struggling a little bit with the collection. As long as you get to 800, you're fine. That's how much Dash Slash costs. Typically, you want to be around 820, 830 for this part of the run. So Jeff a little behind, but there are plenty of other places to collect geo later on.
Bam. Finn.
Yeah, so it does look like we have about a 10-second difference. Now, still relatively close. Which is pretty nice considering their PBs are 3 minutes apart. Still a very close race. Typically, you'll see the higher seeded runners at this point be like 30 or 40 seconds ahead, so it's really nice seeing that this race is so close. Once we get to Sanctum, where we have a bunch of RNG, it might widen a little bit depending on who gets good RNG, who gets bad RNG, but I guess we'll see. So I do a cute little lever skip here on this patch. You can actually hit a lot of things through the walls. One of the things which includes the levers. So typically you'd have to open up a different lever and then go all the way around to get up there, but we can just quickly hit it through the wall and then go through the sentries, hopefully. Yeah, very nice. Good job, Jeff. And then go through this little dark room here and get to the next part of the map, which is Soul Sanctum. You're going to see Devil go into right now. Has a little trouble with the Soul Twister. It's the Geo though. And you see here the reason why we get dash slash so early. So normally you wouldn't be able to hit that lever through the wall with your normal nail, but you can do it with dash slash. And typically in order to get Shade Soul, you need to go all the way to Crystal Peaks to get the Elegant Key, or the Shopkeeper's Key first, and then you need to go slide to get the Elegant Key. That requires a lot of work. So instead we just get dash slash and get this right away, which is really huge for the early boss fights and other things that we do. Jeff does it as well. And now Devil's on his way to Soul Master, which is the next boss fight. Dude does another lever skip right there, and he's gonna fight the Soul Warrior, get his Geo. There we go. Very easy fight with Shade Soul, as you can see. It does a lot of damage, and the spell that we shouldn't have this early in the game, but we're able to thanks to lever skips. Devil not getting very lucky with the Soul Twister RNG. They can often be very annoying and spawn right in your face thanks to some spaghetti code. Do another lever skip right here to get past this absolutely god-awful room that every speedrunner hates. And then get directly to Soul Master. Jeff also not having that great RNG in Sanctum, so he chooses to just kill the Soul Warrior, or excuse me, the Soul Twister instead, avoid taking some damage. What we saw Devil do when fighting Soul Master was line him up so Shade Soul gets a lot of double hits on him, does a lot of damage and lets us kill him a lot more quickly. Did pretty well. He got pretty decent RNG from Soul Master, so the first phase of the fight went pretty smoothly. And there we go, easy peasy. Not too hard of a fight, it all just really comes down to whether the RNG you get is nice or not. Looks like Jeff isn't getting as lucky with the RNG, but he does get past the first phase. Oh, and Axe coming in with the raid. Hello, Axe. Hope everybody enjoyed all their free stonks from watching him. Looks like they're about, I think Jeff is about 32, 33 seconds behind now. All the way up from the 10 seconds he was behind earlier before Sanctum. So you can really see how RNG could affect the time loss that the runners have throughout, or for the run. Jeff now leaving Soul Sanctum along with Devil. Devil's coming up on the hardest room in the game. Let's see how he does. Alright, Devil leaving the hardest room. Absolutely fantastic. You can see that he's really put a lot of effort into that room and practicing all of the very precise dashes that you need to do to get through it safely. Props to him. I hope Jeff can do the same. We have Jeff also doing a phenomenal job. Very nice. Both of them made it through safe and sound. A lot of time saved there. For this next part of the run, we need 300 Geo to King Station. Devil has 317, so he's good. After this part of the run, you really don't need to worry about Geo. So from here on out, we're just chilling. This part of the run is pretty difficult because we have to go through sea peaks and then all the way through crystallized mound to get D-Dark, all without taking a bench. And there are a lot of opportunities to either get hit or to do damage tanks during this part of the run, so it's actually very easy to die. And we've seen a lot of runners die at some point in sea peaks in this tournament, so hopefully it goes well for both of them. We'll see how they do. Oh, actually at full soul, that's very nice to have going into sea peaks. You have extra soul to heal a Glimback if it's in your way, or to heal if you need to at the end. That's very nice. Jeff only has about, I think, 3 or 4 hits of soul. He's a little behind. He should have about 6 or 7 by the time he gets there. Devil definitely ahead. Unfortunately, he gets the hard fall going in there. Again, canceled inventory too early. But now we're into sea peaks. Looks like Devil is going to go for Pogax. A cool little trick that he does, that we can do. He does it. Alright, great. So what you do there is basically just get the miner to throw his little axe at you. You pogo off of it, then ball jump off of the little plank. This next room, we call it the God Cycle, God Pixel room. Because at the very end, you may or may not get hit, depending on how fast you go. I wasn't able to go fast enough, so we couldn't go for it. Unfortunately. Now he's just going to take the safe way around this room. Which is the last cycle, or the second to last cycle based room. You can see Jeff on his way to the Pogax room. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's opting to not do Pogax because he's going to the left. And thankfully the Glimback isn't in his way. So he is also fine. Unfortunately, he has to use his soul to kill the Glimback. But he should be fine. Devil still has a ton of soul, which is very great. And this is the last cycle-based part of the run. All these levers, so you can do a damage tank right there, which is what Devil tried to avoid doing. It looked like he wanted to go for a damageless cycle. And fortunately, he messed that up. Anyways, he did do underplat though. Woo! So he makes it through. Getting through sea peaks and only taking 1 damage is very impressive. Jeff having a much harder time. Already down to 2 health before the last cycle room. So definitely smart to heal up here. You don't want to die in sea peaks because it is a lot of time lost. see Devil taking it kind of slow for the crushers. This part of the run's pretty cool. We're going into a dark room because we chose to go into sea peaks without lantern. Rooms are going to be dark. It looks like Devil's opting to do the safe strats here, slightly slower, but it's not going to take damage. It also looked like Jeff did not do underplat. Very unfortunate. Probably a mistake on his part. Fortunately, Devil does not make it through the dark room. Got hit there at the very end. So he's going to have to do this again. And there we go. Makes it through. Dark room, not the easiest thing to do in this run. Very satisfying once you pull it off. Looks like Devil's opting to get some extra soul, which is interesting. I would assume Devil's watching the stream then. He might know that he's pretty far ahead. So he's choosing to just play a little slower for this part of the run. Just to make sure he doesn't die. Cool little thing we do here is we hit the crystal 7 times. And then if we get the last hit on it with dash slash, we conserve that momentum. And we fall off the side and take damage, which gives us early control. That's another great thing about dash slash. Next up, we're on to Dream Plats. These are really easy. Just go up to the top there like Devil does, and we C-dash through basically the whole thing. This is another opportunity to do underplat, and Devil does it. Woo! Great job. Jeff also about to do Dream Plats. Hopefully he redeems himself by doing underplat here. Very nice. Jeff does do underplat. Partial redemption. I'm proud of you, Jeff. So you see Devil going up the spire. We're going to do the next boss fight, which is Watcher Knights. Thankfully, now that we have D-Dark, the fight is pretty much a joke. You'll see Devil do right here. We can basically stay invincible for about 80% of the fight, and it's pretty easy. Yep, that's basically this fight in a nutshell. Yeah, not much to say about that. That's pretty much the fight. You can die if you aren't careful during the fight. Hopefully I haven't cursed Jeff. We'll see how he does. Basically going to be doing the same thing. This fight kind of comes down to whether or not you get good RNG from the knights. Sometimes they can roll away from you and be real jerks. Looks like the first one was nice to Jeff. See if the rest are. Devil got pretty good RNG for that fight. Looks like Jeff is also getting pretty good RNG so far. And easy peasy. You see Devil getting his first streamer at about 29:10. Jeff's still pretty decent amount behind, but the race overall is still pretty close. Looks like Jeff is about a little under a minute behind. Still really easy to make up, especially this part of the run, the Isma skips. Devil getting some extra soul there makes perfect sense, doesn't want to die. And gets the spike tunnel. It's a lot harder to do than it seems, especially, I'm sure tournament nerves probably getting to both of them a little bit, but it gets it on the third try. This is the second acid skip, or first acid skip, excuse me. Not that difficult. This is the second acid skip. Gets past it pretty quick. Once again, like we did for the D-Dark early control, you can hit that lovely whorp there, and it'll hit you in the middle of your picking up animation of Ismas, and you can get early control. Looks like Devil got stopped probably at the worst part of that C-dash. If you get stopped at the very beginning by the sentry, you can at least up right on that platform and start your C-dash again. He got a little unlucky and had to dash back to do it. Looks like Jeff did just fine on all the skips. He should also be good to go. Devil getting into the next area of the run, which is Ancient Basin. Here we're going to fight Broken Vessel to get the Monarch Wings. So we can do some jumpy jumps. First, we do have to get past all of the Molochs, which can be difficult. There is some RNG to this. We'll see how Devil does. It's past the first one alright. There are things you can do to avoid getting hit by them, but one of them up here is a guaranteed hit always, unless you do a couple strats that we have to get past it, but Devil chooses not to do them. Devil getting hit 2 extra times, that's not great. Assume he want to kill that, yeah, to get some extra soul. Usually want to go into this fight with 6 soul. It looks like Devil's gonna have a little less, which is pretty unfortunate. Does the cursed basin skip? First try. Does uses a mechanic we have called dash canceling to do it. Pretty cool. Save some time there. Looks like Jeff had a little better luck with the Molochs, so he's probably saving a little bit of time. As you can see, Broken Vessel is just basically another dark the fight. Nothing too much to go over here. Devil had a pretty fine fight, pretty fast. See how Jeff does. And Jeff does fine as well. Looks like they had about the same time for the fights. And so now Devil's on his way to fight probably one of the harder bosses in this run, Hornet 2. Choosing to bench at King Station, alright. Typically you see a lot of players bench at the camp bench over in Kingdom's Edge, but if you end up not dying to Hornet, then benching at King Station saves a lot more time. If you die to Hornet, then you lose just a little bit less, or a little bit more time than if you would have if you had benched at the camp bench. Fortunately, Hornet is not a D-Dark check, so she actually requires some skill to fight, and you can also get kind of unlucky with some RNG. She can parry you 20 times in a row, or just hop around all over the place, which you really don't want. And I believe, according to the stats we were keeping track of for the first round, Hornet was the most common cause of deaths across all of the matches. So we'll see how this goes. Looks like Jeff is going to take the camp bench. Good idea. Devil having a pretty slow fight, but he does get past it. Might give Jeff an opportunity to catch up a little bit. So far, it looks like Jeff is having a pretty good fight. He's getting a lot of doubles on Hornet with Shade Soul. Yeah, Jeff had a pretty good fight. Accidentally dashes the wrong way. Not ideal. But yeah, no Hornet death for either of them. Great. Something you see Jeff doing here is holding down nail art. What that does is it stops you from having to do the little get up animation or wake up animation that the knight does. You can just get control right away. Saves a little time and looks kind of cool. And now the runners are on their way to go get Cyclone Slash, which is the second nail art of the run. After this, we only have one more. Not much going on in this part of the run. Just pretty simple movement through Howling Cliffs and King's Pass.
To sta cocando. Hele sommet. Bam. Finnen.
Now Devil's on to fight Umu, which is a pretty RNG heavy part of the run. The runners typically aim to do a one cycle, and Umu can really screw that up if he decides to not cooperate. So we'll see how Devil does. I'd assume Devil is going to go for the one cycle with, since he has a 30, low 53. I think the runners are about 45-ish seconds apart now. Unless I can't do math. Jeff unfortunately getting the hard fall after canceling inventory too early. But now we see Devil's on his way, about to enter the Umu fight. We'll see if he goes for the 1 cycle setup or not. It does look like he's gonna go for the 1 cycle setup. And he does get it. You can see the way the 1 cycle works is we want to hit Umu all the way to the edge of the platform, so when we hit him out of bounds, the last 2 Shade Souls will double hit him. And it does exactly enough damage to kill him in 1 cycle. So if Jeff can't get the 1 cycle here, he's going to be pretty far behind. I think each cycle loses about 18 to 20 seconds, if I remember correctly. I think this might be an extra from Umu. It is. Oh, that's unfortunate. This is what I was talking about. With the Umu RNG, you can save the 1 cycle with an extra attack, but it's very hard. Yeah, this is not looking good for Jeff. One of the reasons why Umu is everybody's least favorite boss. Can't get the 2 cycle either. Fortunately, if you miss the 1 cycle, it's very easy to miss the 2 cycle as well if you can't get enough damage off in time. This is what happened to Jeff, unfortunately. Should be good to go now. Lost probably about 40 seconds on Devil there, I would guess. So it's going to be significantly harder for him to catch up Devil now. Just doing an interesting crystal dash there. Never seen that before. Now Devil's on his way to collect the last nail art of the run, which is Great Slash. I think. Yes, this is Great Slash. I run this category, I should probably know that. We do have some interesting movement coming up in this next room. So there is a cycle that you can go through if you're quick enough. So right here, oh, he's probably gonna miss it. You can crystal dash under that guy, and then if you get to the other side quick enough, you can crystal dash between them. He still technically got the cycle, it was just really slow.
To sta jugando.
And there we go. Last nail art of the run.
Go aname.
So then we quit out from here, and we are on to Howling Wraiths. Jeff having a little trouble with this room. Phillies do have a habit of being mean to people, so it is easy to get hit 1 or 2 times in that room. So the arena that Devil's coming up on is pretty interesting. All of the squits spawn in the same area, so it's pretty consistent. There's a way to do it really quick. Ooh, Essence, Run is Blessed. You can see that's pretty much how you do the fight. Just a couple errors there, but super quick, super consistent. And now he has his last base spell, which is Howling Wraiths, and we're going to end with getting, or we're eventually going to get its upgraded counterpart, Abyss Shriek, at the end of the run. But for now, we're off to kill Hera. Typically, this Petra Arena would be hard for categories like an any percent, which we only have Vengeful Spirit in, but since we have Shade Soul, it just one-shots him, and it's super easy. And then you can see what Devil did there was he intentionally fell into the Thorns. That's because the respawn box, respawn hitbox, yes, I think that's what it's called, is a little jank there, so if we hit it in the right spot, then we just spawn on the bottom, instead of having to go all the way around. Just super cool. Ooh, Jeff dunks there. I think Jeff did it a little more quickly. He still did it a little differently than how it's normally done, but it's still pretty clean. Typically what you don't want to see is one of the squits flying all the way across the arena, then you have to go away and chase it. Quite a bit of time loss, but both of the runners seem to do pretty well there. Jeff using an extra fireball there to get the squid out of the way. Interesting. Now Devil's going into Beastin. We are going to see a developer intended skip here, which is pretty cool. Instead of having to go sit on the trap bench and then go through Beastin, we can just climb up that way if we have wings. Get right to Hera. Devil gets the last streamer. The only thing we have left to do is just collect a couple more skills and then it's off to fight Hollow Knight and end the game. Jeff's still behind. I'm not sure if he's on PB pace though. He might be. It'd be super cool to see one in the tournament. We had a few of those so far. PB pace aside though, we've seen this has been a pretty solid run for both runners. Very nice race. Chat is telling me Jeff is about 3 seconds ahead of PB. Alright. Let's go, Jeff. So now we're back in Ancient Basin, and now that we got King's Brand from Hornet, we have access to the Abyss. It looks like Devil's going to go for the swag door, and he gets it. Very cool. Now we're just going to do a couple inventory drops here to get to the bottom, and it's off to get Shade Cloak. Next part up here kind of gives runners... Oh, Jeff kind of in some trouble here. Okay, Jeff is fine. So we're going to see the Lighthouse Climb or the Sibling Climb. Siblings can be in very annoying places sometimes. Looks like Devil does it just fine though. Siblings do double damage, so it makes it dying here quite easy to do. Glad he was able to make it past it though. Always a bad feeling when you're on PB pace and then a sibling just gets in your way and ends your run. It does look like Jeff is about a little over 2 minutes behind now, so I think it'd take quite a few deaths from THK for Devil to lose the race, or for Jeff to catch up. Maybe that'll happen though, we'll see. Anyway, Devil's on to collect our last ability of the game, which is Abyss Shriek. Not too much to say about this split, pretty simple movement. Then after this we get to see the Abyss Climb. Always fun to watch. Pretty good movement by Devil. It was probably a sub 1 Abyss Shriek. Jeff just now entering Abyss. He's on his way to collect Shade Soul. Also a little late on the swag door, but still swag door nonetheless. And we're going to see Devil go off to the Abyss Climb now. I think he's a little high, yep. Yeah, always feels bad. That very clean climb from Devil. That was very good. We saw Jeff also had a pretty good lighthouse climb. I don't think he got it. Yeah, he did not get hit. A good climb from both runners. We'll have to see how Jeff does for his Abyss climb. And so Devil has collected the last skill in the game, so all he has left to do is kill THK. Hollow Knight. This category, THK is a deceptively, not difficult fight, but deceptively easy to die to. That's because we use Abyss Shriek to kill him, and typically you'd want to use Abyss Shriek to kill enemies above you, but we can kill him, or we can hit enemies right next to us with Abyss Shriek. So for this fight, we opt to just always get in his face and hit his fat head with Abyss Shriek. So it's really easy to take a lot of damage by accident just running into him. So it is deceptively easy to die. We'll have to see how Devil does. Jeff also on his way to the Abyss climb. Some safety heals is probably smart. It's the scream skip, alright. And that's the fight. GG's for Devil. Very solid run for him overall. Not a PB, but still a really good run. I'll wait for credits to roll first. I will mark him as finished. You can see Jeff had a little difficulty at the beginning of the Abyss climb, but after that it's pretty solid. Good for Jeff. I think he's still on PB pace, so let's see if he can pull it off. Wish him the best of luck. Give some hollow D's in the chat for Jeff. Hopefully he can PB. Where is... Here we go. Jeff on his way to fight THK. Hopefully he can have a good fight, get the PB. He's right there, so let's see if he can pull it off. That would be great. We've seen quite a few PBs in the tournament already, so adding another one to the list would be great. Especially considering he hasn't practiced all skills in about a week. Jeff taking a little safety heal here. Understandable. Oh, gets the good RNG on the spray attack. Let's see if we can kill him. Oh, come on, Jeff. Very nice. Alright, I'm not sure if this is a PB or not. Gonna be very close. GG's for Jeff. Was that a 1 second PB? 7-second PB. All right. Very nice. Do I need to mark Jeff as I do? And all right, both runners are done. Let me just invite them to the call. Alright, Jeff is here. Let's see where Devil is.
Howdy, howdy.
Alright, Jeff, or not Jeff. Devil informed me that he doesn't wish to participate in the interview. That's fine. But congrats on his win anyway. Guess we'll go with Jeff. Hello,
Yeah.
Jeff. So I think that was a PB.
That was a small PB that could have been a much, much larger PB. Oh, man. I knew I wasn't going to win, right? Like, Tifa's PB is better than my sum of best. They would have to, like, multiple death and me play out of my mind. But, like, I was 24 seconds ahead at King's Station, and then not ahead after Crystal Heart. And then I was 30 seconds ahead after Cyclone Slash, and then that travesty of an Umu happened.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
I decided I was going to go for the one cycle. I haven't really practiced it, but I know, like, I've gotten it before and I know the setup. I just realized as soon as Umu was going to go for the extra that I'd never actually looked into how to handle an extra. And just everything fell apart, just like instantly.
Yeah, unfortunately, even the setup for dealing with the extra is still pretty hard to pull off.
Mhm.
So if Umu gives you an extra, you're just kind of in a very bad spot for the one cycle.
I didn't get a chance to catch Deviltifa's run. How did it go? I mean, obviously, I saw they were pretty far ahead.
Behind PB.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a very solid run from him.
That's insane.
Also, a really solid run from both of you guys. I didn't really see any like major mistakes or anything. It's really just all coming down to like movement, really, and then the unfortunate Umu fight, of course.
Yeah, like if I hadn't the first big laser room in Peaks, I got like a weird pogo and missed a jump because of it, and it just threw the whole cycle off.
I see.
So like that and an okay Umu only would have put me another like minute-ish ahead. So I still was like 2 minutes behind just on crazy good movement and stuff.
Yeah. So how are you feeling looking forward? Are you gonna practice before next race, or are you just gonna kind of chill?
Well, I don't know. I didn't practice and I got another PB, so I sort of feel like maybe not practicing is the secret sauce.
Yeah, that is a good point. That was a good point.
No, I'm gonna practice up. So the first round, I think I ended up being the only upset from seeding. So I knew round 2 for me was gonna be crazy hard. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of the rounds. Just as I'm sure a million people have said, each round is gonna get like closer and closer and closer and more competitive and exciting. So I'm really looking forward to the next ones.
Yeah, that should be a ton of fun. I think that's it. You want to say anything else? Or are you good?
I think that's it. Thanks for commentating, picking the team up, putting them on your back.
All right, great. Well, I think that's going to be the end of the stream. Thanks to everyone for stopping by. I hope you had a great time. And congrats to the runners for doing so well. And we'll see you around. Peace.